energy to smart agriculture, Africa's local innovators are not just solving climate challenges, they are creating investable opportunities that are reshaping how capital flows into emerging markets. Godwin Aigboviose, CEO of Equicornet, now joins us for more on where climate tech meets opportunity. Godwin, thank you so much for joining us in Kigali, Rwanda, all the way from Nigeria. How is it so far for you?
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
Indeed, great. Yeah. So in our conversation, there's quite a lot that you're saying here on matters climate tech startups across Africa. So let us look at how bankable these ventures are from an investor standpoint. I understand you are an investor in matters climate tech.
Yeah, Africa tech system in terms of renewable energy, and when you talk about how bankable it is for investors, you can see that the necessity, which is the mother of innovation, has already opened us up to these climate initiatives. Africa today is not even the future. When people say it's the future, Africa is the present and the future. And for investors looking into Africa, as of now, it makes them to be the gatekeeper of that sector in Africa. Yeah, so how investable it is as real as every other venture you could look into. But there are many complexities to it when you talk about climate finance, carbon credit, monetization of carbon credit. How do you go about all that? So it only takes investors with deep insight to see Africa as a major hub to lead in terms of climate projects. Yeah.
Indeed, and Africa, yes, is leading, as you have said, as a major hub on matters climate tech. But let us look at some of the emerging markets that you're seeing. We have Kenya, we have Rwanda, we do also have Nigeria on the run here in terms of an emerging hub. But let us look at the policy environment in terms of ensuring scalability.
Now, from Nigeria, the policy that is being made now by this administration and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a policy that gives investor an edge and enable the country to meet up with the SDG goals of the United Nations. Now, in Nigeria, we have what is called transition from fuel to CNG. It's now a policy that has been implemented by the administration of the president. Now let's come to Rwanda. We're told in the next 2 years, you cannot even import a fuel car into Rwanda anymore. So you see that government are taking a conscious effort in ensuring that there is policy to drive not just policy of environmental sustainability and the fight against climate change, but policy to drive economy reformation. And that is currently what is going on. And I must say, from my point of view and point of understanding, that the government are really taking a decisive and very tough decision in ensuring that the policy drive economic growth in Africa.
Indeed, yes, we do. Let us look at the right policies that we have in place, government's role here, and also some of the emerging markets. So, emerging markets that are ripe for investment. So from an investor perspective, how are you assessing the risk versus the return here? Looking at alternative data with some of the unproven models that you're seeing in frontier economies.
Now, in terms of the right policy, what do you mean by right policy? Because the policy that is applicable in Nigeria might not be applicable in Ghana. So the policy that every government make is based on their jurisdictional behavior and compliance. Because, for example, in Nigeria, we want it to get done now. We want it to get done now and right now. And you can't apply that here, or rather because you have to calm down. So government making policies and calling it if it is right or wrong to the jurisdiction it is right in compliance with the SDG goals. Because every policy has to go in compliance with the SDG goals in terms of fight against climate change. Don't know if I've answered your question.
Yes, indeed. But I am working on a risk versus the return in terms of the investment, and also in terms of Africa's climate tech ecosystem being at a position to attract the right kind of capital. How do you go about this?
Now, any investor that understands this climate investment will understand that Africa is a virgin land, which means that the risk assessment there, you just need to be patient, because when you invest, knowing that this is a new economy entirely, it's not hit and run. When you are investing and you are looking at a return of 1 year or 2 years, for example, our organization, you just need to be patient and follow through the trend, the global trend, and all of that. Most especially, I don't think that there is a quick or hit and run return on investment when it comes to investment in the area of climate change. I don't think so. Because I've been here and I'm still here and I'm still pushing, doing a lot of stuff, creating a lot of awareness. Awareness alone takes a lot of time because people need to be conscious of the reality. That's how it works. So any investor that is coming into Africa must understand the business 5 to 10 years. There's no risk in it. There's only risk when you don't have full information. You are not well informed. Your expectation is so high that Africa, when you come to Africa, you can just pick money from the floor and all of that. No. The expectation is so high. So minimize your expectation. Do fact findings, not Google or ChatGPT findings. Because there are real people doing the work like us. You cannot really see most of our work online. So these are the major tips for investors. Yeah.
Indeed. Quite a lot of perspectives in consideration here. But before I let you go, Godwin, why Rwanda? You are in Nigeria. You want to come into Rwanda. You're already here. So why Rwanda for you? What makes Rwanda attractive?
Now, Rwanda is already have what is called full compliance in terms of fight against climate change and the environmental sustainability plans and all of that. So the execution here is fast-paced. And also know that through Rwanda, you can get into the East Africa market. Rwanda gives you access to the East Africa market. So Rwanda is a transit country for our organization, where we know that, when we are in Rwanda, then we spread across. And with what Mr. President is doing here in Rwanda is something that any future thinking organization will just have to come into Rwanda to emulate the leadership of Mr. President.
Indeed,
yes.
Godwin. So investors such as you, financial institutions, and also the multilaterals, we are seeing definitely playing a key role when it comes to scaling climate solutions at the same time without crowding out local enterprise. Yeah. So thank you so much for those great insights.
Thank you.
So that conversation with Godwin takes us on a break. We'll be right back with more. Don't go away.